Hello. Wow. 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 Hello, everyone. I want to make sure that this is actually recording. Because that would suck if I recorded this whole thing and it wasn't even recording. Okay, set up the camera, Clara. Put it on your face. Okay, so it is 7:55. Let's see how long this takes me. So what is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining. If you're new, welcome. My name is Clara Ship. I am the owner of Clara Ship Fitness, personal trainer, and yeah, that's really just me. So this video today is going to be a little bit about my fitness journey. I've had a lot of people say that they wanted this video, so I thought that I would just tell you a little bit about who I am, how I got started in fitness and bodybuilding and competing. We're gonna talk about literally everything, like right from the get-go, and just kind of fill you in on who I am and how I have kind of become the person that I am today, I guess. So I guess we'll start literally right from high school. I grew up always super active. My parents were very outdoorsy. I grew up in a small town of about 5,000 people. So I was skiing, I was hiking, I was water skiing, I was mountain biking, like you name it, I did it. I was also an only child, or I am an only child. So my parents put me in literally every single extracurricular sport. And then in high school, I played volleyball, basketball, and soccer. Played tons of sports, always stayed super active with skiing. In regards to my diet, my parents always ate very well, very whole, healthy foods. I always ate a lot. I always had a huge appetite because I was so active with sports and whatnot. And my nickname was Pigpen. No shame. I literally would eat so much food because I was so active. I was burning so many calories. My body needed that food as fuel. And then when I graduated high school, I went away for my first year of university to a city where I didn't know anyone. I had never been away from home before. It's just a small town girl, guys. And basically I did not want to gain the freshman 15 that everyone always talks about. With that being said, I wasn't playing any sports at that time. I actually wanted to join the volleyball team at my university, or like a rec team, and they didn't have any, which I didn't know when I went there, which you think that I would have looked at when I was looking at a school, but I didn't. So I got there and I was like, okay, what am I gonna do now? Like, I need to stay active. What am I gonna do? And I had never stepped foot in a gym before, you guys. So I was 18, and I had never stepped foot in a gym, never picked up a weight, like nothing in high school, nothing at all. And I was like, I have to go to the gym. That's how I'm gonna stay active. I'm gonna go to the gym. And I had a free membership to my university gym. So I just literally started going, and I had no idea what I was doing. So for the first few months, I would just go on cardio equipment. I would just go on like the bike or the treadmill, and do cardio because I was petrified of weights and I did not know how to lift weights, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what exercises or machine did what muscle. I didn't even know what muscles were on my body. Like, I literally didn't know anything. And then what I started doing is I kind of would just watch like other people come in and watch the workouts that they were doing. And this is super creepy, but when I finally decided to start weight training, I would actually just pick someone in the gym and follow them around, and do every machine that they did like after they did it, so I was always like one machine behind them. So that was creepy of me, but whatever, it was what I was doing. But still, when I was like lifting weights, I was like, I didn't know what muscle group I was training. I was just doing it because the person that I was creepily following was doing it. So yeah, that was my first year of university, and then I ended up transferring to Kamloops, which is where I live now, and I finished my education at the university here, but I still always weight trained. I was still working out in the gym. I actually started doing Kayla Itzenez. She had like circuit weight training guides, so I bought her guide. She actually had 2 of them, and I bought both of them online, printed them off, went to the gym, and I did those, you guys, for 2 years. Because it was a plan. I liked having a plan to follow. And what I would do is I would literally just finish the whole guide, finish the other one, go back to the first one, and I just did them like, yeah, I did them way too much. But it was like weight training and circuits, I guess. And then I still always did cardio as well. And I was in school, and then I met my boyfriend, my now boyfriend, Chris, and we actually met at the gym. I know. Oh, and with my food during this whole time, I still like really had no idea about nutrition. Like, I was kind of just still eating whatever I wanted to, but I had a really solid background of proper nutrition from my parents and how they raised me, so I didn't really eat like bad food, like I probably would like a couple times a week. But mostly I was still eating like lots of vegetables, I ate protein. I would eat like rice and potatoes, and yeah, just like, but I'd never restrict myself. So if I wanted a Blizzard after the gym, like I would go get a Blizzard. If I wanted to eat chips after the gym, I would go eat chips. And what I would actually do is I would try to eat like healthy during the week, whatever healthy meant to me. Like, I now know that there's really not, I don't know what that means. So I would like meal prep during the week and eat like good meals all during the week, not weigh anything out or measure anything. But then what I would do on the weekends is I would literally eat out every single meal, and I would eat like whatever I wanted. And it wasn't because I felt restricted at all with my diet, I don't think. I just was young and wanted to eat at good restaurants and like eat lots of breakfast, and went out for like frozen yogurt and went out for dinners. And I think it was because like growing up in such a small town, I didn't really have access to a lot of good like restaurants or anything like that. So when I moved into the city, I would just do that. But yeah, I never really paid attention to my diet. Okay, so anyways, I met Chris at the gym, and he was into like bodybuilding, weight training, and when we started dating, we kind of would start like working out with each other, and he was always like buying or using programs off of bodybuilding.com. So I kind of started looking at those programs, and honestly, you guys, like I taught myself like everything. At the beginning, I would just research like workout plans. I would research like what exercises training what muscle. There's so much on the internet. And Chris was also a little bit more strict with his diet, so he actually like printed off like bought meal plans online and would use those. But we still didn't really have any idea. And when we first started dating, we actually were partying quite a lot too. So we would exercise and eat well during the week, and then on the weekends we would drink a lot and party a lot, which then caused us to eat a lot of crappy food. And then during the week we would get back into it, get back on track, and then the weekend would come, we would blow it, and like it was kind of just a weird cycle. And our bodies never really changed. Like, I know that we were building muscle, but our body composition never changed because we weren't taking our nutrition very seriously. And we didn't have a plan. We were kind of just like making it up as we went along. And we like to eat a lot of food, which we still do, but now we just have a better understanding of it. So what happened then? So I think it was actually Chris who in 2016 was like, we should do a bodybuilding competition together. And honestly, guys, like I was like, no. Like I was like, no, like I have no interest in getting on stage in like a sparkly ass tiny bikini and stripper heels. Not my gig. Like I'd never even worn heels before in my life. And plus I was like, I love food. Like I've never dieted before in my life. Like why would I want to do that? But he somehow convinced me to do it. So the first thing that we did when we decided we wanted to compete was we were like, we need to hire a coach. We knew that we didn't have the education or knowledge to do it ourselves. So we hired a coach, and I'm just gonna preface this by saying that like I don't have anything against the coach that we hired at all, like nothing against that person or that individual, and I don't want this to come across in that way because that's not the case at all. So the coach that we were training with had us on a meal plan right from the beginning, and it was pretty good at the beginning. Like I was eating 5-6 meals a day. It was balanced of like protein, carbs, and fats. We never got any like refeed, free, untracked meals or anything like that. Our meal plan was like pretty strict of what we were eating, but we'd never dieted before. So we were just like, we didn't ask questions. We were like, this is just what we have to do if we want to compete. This is what people do. They eat chicken and broccoli and yams and rice and egg whites and eggs and avocado. That's about all that I was eating. I wasn't allowed to eat any fruit. I wasn't allowed to eat oatmeal. I love oatmeal. So we did a 14-week prep, and as the prep progressed and I lost weight, I started experiencing things like cravings, because obviously when you're dieting, you're eating in caloric deficit, you're not giving your body the food that it needs. I also started craving foods like fruit, and I was like, why can't I eat fruit? Like this makes no sense to me. But I was just following what the coach was telling me to do. And then my food also changed, and obviously the amounts got smaller. But for the last 6 weeks of my very first prep, I was eating white fish and half a cup of, I was only allowed either green beans or broccoli, no other vegetables. So 5 times a day, you guys, my meals were the exact same 5 times a day, and it was white fish and half a cup of vegetables, and then 2 of those 5 meals got 1 tablespoon of olive oil. So I was starving. I'm just gonna put that out there. And I was so restricted in my diet. I was eating no carbs. I would have like half a cup of rice every like 3 to 4 days. And that was the hardest thing of my life because I was physically starving. But I honestly was just in the mindset that like this is what has to be done in order to get to the stage. And Chris and I were in it together. Like we were both so miserable. We were both so hungry and so grumpy. We were just craving like proper nutrition. Our bodies had never been through this before, and our bodies were in such a state of shock that they were like, I just want food. Like I can honestly say that I had never experienced hunger before. And that was like a super, super weird feeling for me, to just feel hungry and just feel empty. But I never cheated on that diet. I stuck to it because I was just like, this is what we have to do. Like I want to win. I want to look good in my first show. I had no idea what to experience or what to expect or anything like that. So my first show was September of 2016. I did a 14-week prep for that, and I lost 35 pounds in that time, which is a dramatic weight loss, you guys. And competing is an extreme. Competing is absolutely an extreme. and I don't ever recommend that anyone do it unless they have the right mindset, and unless they hire a coach that they believe in their methods. And I learned that the hard way. So I did this show. I won. I got first in my class. I was sick. I was sick. I was like a skeleton. I'll try to like put a picture here of what I looked like, but I had never been that lean before in my life or that low of body fat percentage. And it's really weird because that whole diet, like when I got on stage, or that whole day, like honestly, I was scared because I had eaten the same foods for my 14-week prep, and I still had no idea what proper nutrition was. So I was like, what do I do after this? Like, I just ate white fish and vegetables 5 times a day for 6 weeks. I don't want to do that ever again, but I don't know what to eat to actually be healthy. Like I still had no idea. So, okay, placed first in that show in September 2016. And after that, between September and December, I gained back 20 pounds, which honestly is like, I needed to gain weight back. But I did not do it in the right way. I did not reverse diet. I did not slowly increase my calories. And I experienced a lot of overeating, binge eating type episodes, which is why I'm always honest with you guys. And this was because I was so restricted for so long. Like, all I wanted was fruit. Like, I literally ate like bowls and bowls and bowls of fruit, which wasn't good for my digestion. But then just everything, like foods that I didn't even care about, I still was just eating because I was like coming from such a state of severe deprivation. And then in turn with that, as I saw myself gaining weight back, I was like, I felt guilty. Like, I was like, I shouldn't be gaining this weight back so fast. Like, I don't know why I'm craving these foods. When I now know that my body was just craving proper nutrition and a balanced, well-rounded diet, but I still didn't know what that was. So then, Chris and I, my boyfriend and I, both started working with our good friend, Don Lamb, who taught us and introduced us to flexible dieting, tracking macros, what proper nutrition actually is, how to use MyFitnessPal, how there are no good or bad foods, how macros are broken up into protein, carbs, and fats, and he honestly changed my life. I can honestly say that. And I had such an amazing coaching experience with him. So I started to understand nutrition more. While this was all happening, I was still training hard. I was also getting certified in personal training. I graduated university and I wanted to become a personal trainer and help others and prevent them from making the same mistake that I did with hiring a coach. My first show that put me through a prep that was awful. So yeah, so I was working with Dawn, I was tracking my macros, we reverse dieted, and I was actually eating close to 3,000 calories a day, so over 300 grams of carbs. Like, I was eating so much food, I was feeling so good, I was feeling so strong. I actually lost weight because my metabolism sped back up, my hormones balanced out, like everything. It was just amazing. And throughout this reverse diet process, I kind of got it in my head, like, you know what? I want to compete again using flexible dieting to show people that you can achieve an amazing physique and body that you are proud of without starving yourself, without restricting foods, without cutting out things like carbs or fruit, without labeling good or bad foods. So that's when I decided to do another show. And then I prepped for 16 weeks for the Vancouver Pro-Am in July of 2017. And that prep was night and day difference from my first one. Like, I ate pancakes every day, you guys. I ate waffles, I ate burgers, and like, don't get me wrong, I still ate like a balanced diet of protein, carbs, and fats, but I didn't restrict myself. My mentality was so much better. I was strong in the gym. I was so much happier. I was so much better to be around as a person. I was so much more confident. Prep is not always easy, and of course there were hard days. Competing is an extreme sport, and the last few weeks of prep were challenging, but that's what you get when you do a prep. But it was made so much easier due to flexible dieting and tracking macros. Like, I could not get like such a great experience. So then I competed in that show, and I placed second in provincials, so I was pretty proud of myself for that in my class, and I did so well after that show. I of course like enjoyed treats that I wanted to in moderation. I did not overeat or have any kind of like the bingy weird cravings like I did my first show, because I wasn't as restricted at all. And I did a great reverse diet, and actually a couple months before I competed is when I got sponsored by Magnum. Amazing, life-changing. And then that summer also, as I was prepping for provincials, I started training clients online and in person. And then, this is like a weird timeline, I'm trying to remember everything. So I was training people and I was just living my best life, having a good time, felt so much better. And then I went to the Olympia with Magnum in September of 2017. That was amazing. I had never been to a fitness expo before, and the opportunity that Magnum gave me to go was incredible. And then since then, I've just been building my business, training people. I went to the Arnold's with Magnum in March to Columbus, Ohio, which was freaking phenomenal. Like, I'd never been to Ohio. It was so cool. I got to see Arnold. I got to meet so many incredible people, and just the opportunities that I have had thanks to Team Magnum have been like outstanding. I love my Magnum family. I love everything that that company stands for. And I'm going to the Olympia with them this September again, so I'm pretty excited for that. But yeah, that's just a little bit of my background. Ever since I was first introduced to tracking macros, that is what I have done since. That's what I do now. It's not a diet for me, honestly. It's just a way of living. It's how I live my life. Being able to enjoy the foods that I love in moderation and being able to get creative with my meals and have variety. It's the exact same way that I train all of my clients. I believe that regardless of your goals, flexible dieting and tracking your macros can help you reach them in a healthy and sustainable manner. So I don't actually know what happened there, but I think that, is this even recording? No, it's not. Is it? For some reason, I think that my video's cut out. So I don't even know where it stopped, but I just wanted to say thank you guys for tuning in and watching my journey. If you guys have any questions or comments, please comment them below. And if you could hit that subscribe and like button, it would mean the entire world to me. I am going to be trying to post weekly, so any support and any love is so appreciated. I love you all, and remember, keep fit and have fun.